To you, Mr Barr. I now call Stephen Kerr to be followed by George Adam. Mr Kerr.
Well, I also welcome Ben Macpherson to his position, and I do also agree with Douglas Ross, although Ben Macpherson is well liked across the chamber, as was evident the other day when we approved his appointment as a minister. I have to say that I don't envy him having to pick up this particular bill. This is not the kind of present that you want to find when you get a new job and you put your feet under the desk and open the desk, because frankly this bill is a little bit of a mess, to put it mildly. I do miss actually being on the Education, Children and Young People Committee. I really enjoyed that committee, and I particularly miss Willie Rennie's contributions. I honestly feel that he summarised the report that the committee produced rather well. It was kind of a meh, sort of a. I'm happy to give way to Willie Rennie as ever.
Willie Rennie.
Can I just say that we miss the member too from the committee?
Stephen Kerr.
I think you're supposed to tell the truth in the chamber. I really think that he's crossing a line there. But setting that aside, I think the spirit and the words that Willie Rennie conveyed when he gave his speech, it kind of covers how I feel about the bill, to be honest. I really think when you get down to it, the question has to be answered is, because of this bill and the associated costs, which you can't dismiss. I mean, we don't even really know how much this bill is going to cost. I mean, how can you possibly responsibly legislate for something that you don't even know how much it's going to cost? But the key question is, what will it improve? And if the evidence that was presented to the committee, and it would seem to be a fairly unanimous range of opinion that comes down to one thing, doesn't seem to change anything. And Jackie Dunbar, in her speech, she's not in her place, but when it came down to it, you know, if this bill doesn't empower learners or employers, and all it does is move things around and rebadge a bureaucracy, then I can't see the point of it. I really can't. So there's nothing in this that will achieve anything. And on that basis, I can't see what the principles are even. I mean, if we talk about simplification, but you don't actually simplify, what is the point of all of this? And I'm happy to give way to the Minister.
I thank Mr Kerr for giving way, and apologies I couldn't give way to him in my opening. Does he appreciate that the intention behind the bill is to make sure that the FC will have oversight provision and will therefore be able to flex to employer and business needs in a way that the system at the moment doesn't, to be innovative across all business needs?
Stephen Kerr.
I want to see, for example, I really want to take the time I've got to talk about apprenticeships, because I really want to see a demand-led apprenticeship system in this country, because there's a crying out loud need, and that need is not being satisfied because, frankly, it is not the job of government to determine what the economy needs. It's the people that actually do the business of the economy that decide that. And that's the people that head up organisations, that head up businesses. So let's look at SDS in the time I've got left. I mean, SDS currently supports 40,000 apprenticeships, administers training programmes, and under this bill, all of that responsibility goes to the Funding Council. So what's left of SDS? I mean, why not go the whole hog? Why not just collapse SDS? If we want to simplify and reduce cost, then just do away with SDS. Find another way of taking care of what's left. I mean, I've suggested before some radical adjustments to the landscape of Scottish education. And I think there's an opportunity here that the government are blinking in front of, frankly. If you're going to talk about simplification or streamlining, you've actually got to do some of that. You can't just use the words. You've actually got to do what the words suggest that you're doing. What you end up here with is one overstretched body that I think justifiably we can ask questions about whether or not it's suitable for the task that it's being given. And then you've got another one that's completely hollowed out. Now, let's look at what other countries do. Let's properly learn about what people in other countries do, where they know what apprenticeships are all about. And the examples I would always reach to, and I'm not alone in this, I think, is Germany and Switzerland. I mean, their employers' associations actively design and update apprenticeship qualifications. They're totally embedded with the system. In England, the employers, and the levy was mentioned, and it It's absolutely a bone of contention. People pay the levy in Scotland, but they don't see the money coming back into the investment that they need for their businesses and the future of our economy and apprenticeships. But in England, employers are all over the design of qualifications in relation to apprenticeships. But this bill seems to leave all of that very much in the hands of the ministers, the Funding Council. It says employers will be consulted, but they need to be more than consulted. They need to be in the driving seat. And that's what a truly demand-led system looks like. I've run out of time, which is disappointing for me, because I have a number of questions I'd like to ask, and I will just close with these if I might. The first is, will the government ring-fence apprenticeship money? If it goes into the Funding Council pot, will it come out for apprenticeships? What about making a commitment to see that every penny that's raised in Scotland through the apprenticeship levy, which you can calculate, let's not hide behind, oh, we don't know how much it is. We know how much it is. Can that money not be spent on apprenticeships and training? And why has the government rejected best practice international models? I really don't understand that. Why would you reject success stories in favour of just another version of what we've already got? And what about SMEs? Where will their voice be heard? There's learning to be had in other economies where SMEs, and the vast majority of people that work in the private sector in this country work in SMEs, where will their voice be properly heard?
Mr.
There's
Kerr.
Lots of questions. I can't see how anyone
Mr. Kerr,
can
thank you
vote
very
for
much.
this bill today.
Thank you. Okay, we now